Hello everyone. Hi. I can talk here. There it is. Hey everyone, thank you for being here. I'm sure there will be more people arriving later. But for those of you who are here, if you want to come closer, if you don't feel very shy. So we're going to start. Thank you very much for being in this fundraiser for Shahd, Mohamed, and Sondos and their families. I am horrible at hosting, so I have a script. Very neurodivergent. Well, this is a mutual aid fundraiser, and also it's kind of a launch for Sondos' book, Aerie Tales, which is on sale there, which was printed in typewriter by T. It's wonderful. If you don't have it, please consider buying it. It can be through transfer or cash. And it's a really great Christmas gift as well. So I wish we wouldn't have to do this. I wish the people who are in charge of ending this genocide and the occupation would just take charge and do what they have to do. But as always, it's people helping people. But then I'm really grateful for all of you being here and everybody who meant to be here and couldn't make it because everybody's sick this week with the cold. Because this is just, I know that this gives hope to everybody. It gives us a sense of real community showing up for each other. And I know that it gives hope to Shahd, Mohamed, Sondos, and many families who are in Gaza. Just waiting for us to, show up and help. So just a few words about the two families that this fundraiser is for. So I met Shahd and Mohamed through Instagram a few months ago. They both needed support. Shahd for her education. She wasn't able to complete her school last year. And also she's helping her family. And Mohamed and Sondos are also trying to safely displace their family again. So then I first met Mohamed and then he introduced me to Sondos, his sister, who is a writer. They're both writers, but Sondos was in that moment writing her poetry book. And she connected me with Ken, who's the artist who did the illustrations, who's in Japan, and just creating this beautiful community that's translating the poems into many, many languages and trying to bring them and, I forgot the word, but place them in different bookshops. So I'm just going to read a little bit about both families. And also you can see the information there. That's information that they gave me, that they wanted me to put there. I'll also ask if you, during the performances, if you want to take pictures and videos and just upload them and you can tag me or tag them. That would be wonderful. The only thing is that if you're taking a picture, for example, of Sondos' picture, she asks not to be uploaded to social media. That's the only thing, okay? Sondos and Mohamed Al-Saqqa are siblings from Gaza. They described their family home before October 7th. They used to enjoy the feeling of warmth, of having coffee in the morning, of having a library filled with books, and just spending time in the balcony where they would read. And of course, they really miss these peaceful moments. And now they are living in what is called a safe zone, quote unquote, because no place is safe in Gaza. These zones have been bombed several times. And as you know, it's also very, very, very expensive to just survive in Gaza at the moment. Everything is really, really, the prices are really high. And there's no clean water. Mohamed lost his job, and basically, they just need us. They just need us to be there, just supporting and kind of sharing the word and sharing what's happened to them. And Shahd, yeah, she's a girl, she's 17. She lives in Gaza as well. I'm just reading from what she wrote. Okay, so she wrote in the first person, but I'm kind of paraphrasing it. So she obviously, like many children in Gaza, has had a very difficult educational journey. But she has been one of the first students in her class, and she's very determined to finish school and continue her studies. And we started the Shahd campaign a few months ago. It's going very slow, so we have some flyers there with the QR code if you want to take some and give to people or leave anywhere you go. That would really help. And she initially was supposed to study in the British school, but that got really expensive, so now she went back to the government school, which is a bit more accessible, and also she's helping her family. And yeah, that's it. I was going to say, does anybody have questions? I used to teach, but no. So we'll just start our music and poetry night. Thank you again for being here. There are many wonderful performers. It's going to be a very chill, very loving night, and I just invite you to just give the performers your love that you obviously have in your hearts because you're here. So I would like to start with a poem written by Meri Poghosyan, and I hope I'm saying it correctly. She's a poet that I met here in Edinburgh, but she's in Armenia now. And she has always been very supportive through her poetry with Palestine. So she wrote this poem based on text by Mahmoud Darwish. And I'm going to ask Fiona Jane, who will be our first performer, first poet, and we'll read it together. So I'll just introduce Fiona a little bit before, because she's going to perform after this poem. So Fiona Jane, I hope I'm not embarrassing you by reading while you're right there. Is a Falkirk-based poet, largely focused on sapphic and feminist topics. She writes about the experience of growing up in religious Poland, her new life in Scotland, the process of becoming comfortable with her identity, and the excitement and struggles that go with it. You can expect a sad, sexy journey with some laughs sprinkled in from her poems. So thank you for being here, Fiona. And we'll just start with Meri's text. Okay, so this is called Gaza, based on pieces taken from Mahmoud Darwish writings. Our losses. Between 2 and 8 martyrs each hour, and 10 wounded, and 20 homes, and 50 olive trees. Added to this, the structural flaw that will arrive at the poem, the play, and the unfinished canvas.
In Gaza, we do not search for poems. Gaza has no throat. Her floors are the ones that speak in sweat, blood, and fires. She is oranges that explode. Bullets and memory, she is children without childhood, aged men without old age, women without desire, because war even changes the taste of coffee.
In Gaza, time is sometimes different. In the state of siege, time becomes space, transfixed in its eternity. In the state of siege, space becomes time that has missed its yesterday and its tomorrow.
Here there is no I. Here Adam remembers the dust of his clay. Alone, we are alone as far down as the sediment, were it not for the visits of the rainbows.
What is beautiful about Gaza is that our voices do not reach her. Nothing distracts her, nothing takes her fist away from the enemy's face. Gaza is devoted to rejection, hunger and rejection, thirst and rejection, displacement and rejection, torture and rejection, siege and rejection, death and rejection.
Enemies might triumph over Gaza. The storming sea might triumph over an island. They might chop down the trees.
They might break her bones. They might implant tanks on the insides of her children and women. They might throw her into the sea, sand, or blood.
But she will not repeat lies and say yes to invaders. She will continue to explode.
It is neither death nor a suicide. It is Gaza's way of declaring that she deserves to live. It is neither death nor a suicide. It is Gaza's way of declaring that she deserves to live.
That she deserves to live.
That she deserves to live. Thank you. So now I'll leave you with Fiona, who will delight you with her poems. So another round of applause for her.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Tay, for having me as well. It was lovely of you to pay for me to do that. Is anyone here from Glasgow? Or goes to Glasgow often? That's weird. I spend a lot of time living in Glasgow, so this is a bit of Glasgow poem. It's called Appreciate the Buildings. Appreciate the buildings. Your first flat in Glasgow, the one you shared with your mum and her modern family, the one in which your dog died and you died a little with her. Appreciate Cardinal campus of Glasgow Five College, the one where you broke up with your boyfriend in, the one that hosted your lifelong friendship. Appreciate the Tim Hortons on Four Corners, the Cat House staff at 6 a.m. on a Sunday, the ones you asked if they would like their toast toasted. Of course they did. And the million stairs down to this dry store. Appreciate Polo, the writing room you somehow never found, the iconic neon signs, the dance floor downstairs, the one on which a girl who wasn't your girlfriend kissed you, the one whom you didn't follow to the bathroom, simply because you didn't hear the invitation. Appreciate the gallery of modern art, the one you had your awkward date with an awkward boy in, whose feelings you hurt with your lack of knowledge on trans matters. Appreciate the building you get therapy in, the one with the stupid old lift with double doors which you can't use until it's been used on your floor last, the one that hosts your very intense but very effective therapist. Appreciate Queen Street Station, the one you saw last when you left Glasgow for a while, the one that saw you 2 years later, when you came back with a slightly West Coast accent and a West Coast fiancé to go with it. Appreciate Princess Royal Maternity Hospital, the one where a baby you named was born so tiny you never thought he would grow up to have an ego this big. The one you spent that Christmas in with your whole family, the last time you were all together. Appreciate the tattoo studios, the one with names you can't remember, the ones in which you got stupid shit tattooed on you, the stupid shit you love to this day. Appreciate the Flying Duck, the one where you joined Extinction Rebellion and got invited to a vegan potluck in the room next door. The one in which the first woman fell in love with you after you told her you were a Libra, and you fell in love with her tasteless pesto pasta that wasn't even bloody vegan. Appreciate the buildings that stand still and hold the very being of you, as not every building stays where it's supposed to. Not every building doesn't collapse right in front of you, not every memory stays safe in the floodbirds. Appreciate the buildings, because a tent doesn't hold you the same. Appreciate the buildings before the buildings become memory, before the buildings become ink trouble on a page. Thank you. A few months ago, me and my friend went to get a drowning girl tattoo. Does anyone know what a drowning girl tattoo is? No? Okay. Again, a Glasgow thing. There's this tattoo artist in Glasgow. She does like flash days of this specific tattoo twice a year, I think. And all the proceeds go to Rape Crisis Scotland. So it's like a symbol of keeping your head above the water. And And then we went, she tattooed for 15 and a half hours straight, which was pretty wild. And me and my friend queued for 12 hours because there was a lot of people who wanted to get that tattoo. And we made a friend in the queue. And it was a very intense way to jump into a friendship, to just stand in the cold for 12 hours straight. But it was just lovely to meet someone like that and feel that connection. So this is a poem about my friend from the queue. It's called Drowning Girl Club. And there's a trigger warning for sexual violence, so if you don't want to hear about that, feel free to stick away for a second. I never thought I would queue for 12 hours to get ink on my skin, but my sanity these days is running rather thin. 2 hours in, we made a new friend. She helped us see this endeavour till the end. Her name was Hea. And I'm pretty sure that's short for hell yeah. She is whatever makes the bees buzz. She is lightning and fire with her piercing, shag haircut, a masculine attire. And I wonder, what brought you here? Are you here as an ally, or are you here as a survivor? Is there more than the wrong kind of love that you share with me? Do you keep your head above the water like I have been for years? Do we share a body that at some point wasn't ours? Does an unexpected touch not graze but devours? Have we both been called a victim? And sometimes we feel like one. Have we both been set on fire by somebody else's son just for fun? Do we share the same rage of the world and ourselves? Have we put our broken pieces neatly on the highest shelf? If Hea is hurt, she hides it well. No visible scraped knees to show that she fell in this moment in our never-ending queue, 7 hours in, for a fighter and a tattoo, a smile on her face is the only view. She picks up the phone, says, Habibi, how are you? And I melt under her red-hot lack of fear. She tells me that the hijab hides all her queer when needed, because the love and acceptance progress is inherently impeded, but she seems so unbothered by it. I am almost not angry. Hea is 19 years of queer joy. She is what I should have been at her age instead of dating boys, but there is no jealousy here. I am not turning green. Queer joy tastes like sweet tangerines. It's something to be shared, not to be split between hungry mouths. Me and Hea and 3,000 other people now have matching tattoos. 12 hours of friendship on my skin I will never lose. The drowning girl doesn't surrender. She keeps afloat. Whether she's hidden or on your hip or displayed on your throat, she's here and she's fighting, whether she's loud or quiet, and maybe she's not ready yet, but one day she'll start a riot. So take it as a promise, or take it as a threat. Drowning girl may be drowning, but she hasn't drowned yet. 10 hours in, the moon showed at midnight, and Hea got older. 20 years of fighting to be here on her shoulders, not a wrinkle on her face. A nice light note, a poem about poetry. So it doesn't like these. It's called Chest Garden. 23 years into breathing, I learned that my body doesn't do it right. That my lungs do their best, but that's only 45% of someone else's best, and to think that your chest is only half as good as it should be gets a little depressing. So I like to imagine that one of my lungs fills up almost full and the other one doesn't work at all. It liked empty until I started reading poetry, and the words of other poets planted a garden. And now my lung is filled to the brim with flowers, roses, daffodils, forget-me-nots, tulips, sunflowers, lilies, and more. When I hear you speak poetry, it waters my chest garden. The words come out of my mouth in the shape of daisies, and the poem arrives in your ear as a bouquet. I like to think you keep it in a pretty face and change the war from time to time. Rest assured that your poetry is safe on my windowsills. Keep on watering my garden and I will water yours so I can keep imagining that the pain that I feel when I try to take a deep breath are my flowers blooming. My name is Fiona Jane. Thank you very much for coming.
So our next performer is, I'm going to introduce her. Some of you, many of you probably know her from Protest in Harmony and her unwavering commitment to social justice and using art for that. And I'm just going to read her introduction. So it's Penny Stone. She's a community musician and activist who has spent time in Palestine as a human rights worker, as well as taking her solidarity choir in 2 tours of the West Bank. Penny sings story songs about Palestine as well as Arabic songs, and will always endeavor to get everyone singing along, so you might be singing soon, even just a little bit. So let's just give her a big applause to Penny Stone.
Hello. It's I want to say it's a joy to be here. Obviously, it's a disgrace that we have to be here, but it's a joy to be with people who care. This is a ballad I wrote about some beautiful people who I have come to know and love over the years in Palestine, and I'm sure some of you will recognise some of them. I'll tell you a story about some friends of mine in the towns and the wadis of their Palestine. The stones in the soft ground, sunshine beating down. Under the olive trees we take our time, but there's trouble everywhere, easy to see. Walking in Palestine, nobody's free. This old occupation feels heavy to bear, but so many are still standing tall. Why do you stay here? Well, the seeds we can sow. Why do you stay here? For to make the trees grow. Why do you stay here? Well, it's all that I know. Why do you stay here? Here is my home. Here is my home. That's your bit. Here is my home. Here is my home. Here is my home. Beautiful, thank you. Resistance, I'll tell you about a farming man. Rise early each morning to work on the land. His father, his grandfather worked before him. Now his sons and his daughters, they won't let them in. They built a barrier, cut through the land. To the army you must ask permission to pass. They blasted the ground and they bulldozed the trees. But we live for the future, we keep planting seeds. Why do you stay here? They're uprooting your trees. Why do you stay here? You can't do as you please. Why do you stay here? I wish your life was easier. Why do you stay here? Here is my home. Here is my home. Here is my home. One woman I walk beside just for a day. She was born in the old town and she's seen it change. She walked down Shahd Street before they came to shut down half the city and lock down the gate. She grows green on the rooftop while soldiers look down, and she grows tall, the children with tears rolling down. Don't be afraid, she says, you must be proud. I am Palestinian, she smiles. Why do you stay here when they're caging you in? Why do you stay here when you have to keep watching? Why do you stay here where they stop you from walking? Why do you stay here? Here is my home. Here is my home. Here is my home. Born in this village, another young man. Every Friday he gathers to walk to the land. Access to water wells we used to have. Now these soldiers from Israel, they're blocking the path. Open your eyes and ears, soldiers, we tell. Our lands, they are occupied, your minds as well. More than 10,000 times I have stood where I stand today, and we will keep walking until we are free. Why do you stay here when they blockade the town? Why do you stay here when they're shooting you down? Why do you stay here when they're shooting you down? Why do you stay here? Here is my home. Here is my home. Here is my home. I'll tell you a story about some friends of mine in the towns and the wadis of fair Palestine. The stones in the soft ground, the sunshine beating down. Under the olive groves we take our time, but there's trouble everywhere, easy to see. Walking in Palestine, nobody's free. This old occupation feels heavy to bear, but so many are still standing tall. Why do you stay here? For the seeds we can sow. Why do you stay here? For to make the trees grow. Why do you stay here? Well, it's all that I know. Why do you stay here? Here is my home. Here is my home. Here is my home. Thank you. Thank you very much. There's a song. It's an Arabic song. I'll just find the translation. And it's Levantine. We learned it as a Palestinian song, but a few years back when there were quite a lot of refugees coming over from Syria, we were singing it in solidarity on Portobello Beach, and a Syrian family came and shuffled over and joined in with us, and so it turns out it's one of their home songs as well. And it's a beautiful song, like so many songs from so many places. It's a song of exile, singing across the sea, yearning for home. The translation is, "Be calm, O sea, so long has been our absence. Take my blessing to the land of our upbringing, to the earth that raised our forebears. Still sings the bird that nests in our fig tree. Take my love to the olive tree and to my family. Does my gentle mother still breathe in the scent from our pillow, trying to remember me?" Hadi ya bahar hadi, awal ma fi ghaibitna, wadi salami wadi, lillardi li abidna, lillardi li abidna. Salim salim abladi, turbat baya wijdadi, wabatul asfori shadi, biya shayshati nidna, biya shayshati nidna. Salim يا بحادي أول ما في غيبتنا ولسلامي ولي للأرض اللي غابتنا للأرض اللي غابتنا. I don't know, some of you will know we have a singing vigil for us outside of St Giles from 12 to 1 every Friday. If anyone's ever free then and you'd like to come and join in, it's lots of looped songs, mostly singing Ceasefire Now or End the Occupation to various tunes. And we just didn't think we'd be doing it so long. We collect money for medical aid for Palestinians. We have been doing for the last 6 months or so, and that's a drip of something that feels like, as much as anything, helps people when they're coming past. Like, people stop who need to stop, who connect with what we're doing and think, oh, thank God there are other people that care, that want to have more power to stop this. And that thing of being able to give a bit of money, as we're able to do this evening, just to try and help some people who are stuck in this hell, is part of it. But one of the songs that we've brought in recently is Bella Ciao, the Arabic Bella Ciao. Oh, one of the lots of Arabic Bella Ciaos. One of the simplest Arabic Bella Ciao, you might be glad to hear, given that you're about to give it a go. Now, you probably all know Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Sorry, I should have reached in this earlier. Bella Ciao, of course, Italian, well, famously an Italian partisan song. And it was a women's rice readers song. It was a union song originally. It was women who were working in the rice fields in northern Italy saying Bella Ciao, both hello beautiful and goodbye beautiful, saying hello beautiful possibility of better working conditions and more equal society and more social justice, and goodbye beautiful youth as I toil away without decent working conditions. And it was taken up by the partisans, the anti-fascist fighters in World War II, and that's where it became pretty well known. It's been sung, connected with so many different social justice and anti-fascist campaigns around the world. Probably nearly every language in the world has sung a version of it. Most of them keep the Bella Ciao in the middle. Oh, that's not right, is it? That one's missing, sorry. You should tell you what, you should never move between tunings. That's a lesson I've not learned. There we go. And so we've got Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Have a go. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Lovely. So I'll put that in the right key. And we're going to sing on La, the rest of it, for just now, till I give you your Arabic cues. La 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 la, la 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 la. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Lovely. Now, if it's been a long week, you can just join in with that. I'm going to give you some Arabic to have a go at for those people that are feeling unusually alert for a Friday evening. The first one is Ghanil Hurriya, sing freedom. Ghanil Hurriya, Ghanil Hurriya, Ghanil Hurriya. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. And then we say, for Palestine, we sing freedom. Le Falasteen. غني الحرية لفلسطين غني الحرية. Lovely. And the last one is, we must end the occupation now. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. That is a little bit tricky. Feel free to learn that, but have a go. If I can do it broken down into pieces. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. Again. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. So it's غني الحرية. غني الحرية. And again. غني الحرية. وبلا تشاو بلا تشاو بلا تشاو لفلسطين لفلسطين. غني الحرية. غني الحرية. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. So I didn't have time to remind you of that line. خلينا ننهي الاحتلال. Then that's the tune. You might know a slightly different tune. You might find yourself singing some of the notes. We call those harmonies. That's how you find them. Sing another note. It's up to you if you like the other notes. That's a good harmony if you like it. Right, that's most of the song. We'll then sing Ghanil Adela, just say that. Ghanil Adela, we sing justice. Falasteen, Ghanil Adela. Falasteen, Ghanil Adela. And then we've still got at the end, we end the occupation. Every time we end the occupation, just to be super clear, we're ending the occupation. Khalina ninhil ihtilal. Khalina ninhil ihtilal. Great. You can do those two, and I'll do them twice each to give you a second chance if you nearly got it the first time. But like I say, if you're tired, la la la, bella ciao, la la la, we'll do adequately. Ghanil Hurriya, Ghanil Hurriya, Ghanil Hurriya. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 Falasteen. Ghanil Hurriya, Khalina, Khalina ninhil ihtilal again. Ghanil Hurriya, Ghanil Hurriya. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 Falasteen. Ghanil Hurriya, Khalina ninhil ihtilal. Ghanil Adela, Ghanil Adela, justice. Ghanil Adela. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 Falasteen. Ghanil Adela. Khalina ninhil ihtilal. One more time. Ghanil Adela, Ghanil Adela, Ghanil Adela. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 Falasteen. Ghanil Adela, Khalina ninhil ihtilal. Beautiful. We sing. Actually, we do sing one more verse. We'll just sing it for the thoroughness of it, which is "We stand with you." What is it? Nahnu ma'akum. Nahnu ma'akum. Nahnu ma'akum. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 Falasteen. Nahnu ma'akum. Khalina ninhil ihtilal. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, time for a couple more? One?
My very invisible watch.
Okay, I've got a watch, but I didn't check it at the beginning, so just tell me from going on, won't you?
It's okay.
I wrote this song, oh God, 16 years ago, and after I've been living in the West Bank as a human rights worker, as a human rights observer, and I toured a show with a friend of mine who I'd been working with, who was also a musician, after we got back, to tell some of the stories of what we'd witnessed, to tell people what was happening in Palestine in the West Bank. We were both in different, living in different villages, and the community that she was living in was a super small village, and they, as so many rural communities in the West Bank, were experiencing a lot of harassment and violence from local Israeli settlements, which are illegal under international law, and demolitions of houses and schools and all the rest of it. And the village that I was living in was a slightly bigger village, and it was just near the apartheid wall, separation barrier, the wall stealing more land from Palestine, whatever you want to call it. And there'd been a lot of demonstrations early on to try and resist that it was a farming community, they'd just been cut off from their land. And they obviously wanted to access that land so they could continue to live and work as they always had done. And so there's a huge military presence. And we witnessed a lot of arresting of children in the night, and obviously did what we could to try and reduce violence and to try and dissuade them from taking the children away, and young adults often, and often failed, but at least we witnessed it, we documented it, we reported it, and we tried to get them back the next day, sort of a thing. So that was a lot of the work that we were doing. And one of the songs that we shared, we'd been part of protests on the boundary with Gaza, because there had been some bombing of Gaza that every time, as I'm sure you've all felt, oh my God, this is like, I can't believe this is happening, this is too much, and then it's more the next time, and you think, oh my God, this is so, and it's obviously way beyond anything we could have ever nightmared before. But there was a beautiful story, a true story, about a project run by UNRWA that you've probably heard about over the last year, who are the United Nations Relief and Works Agency that run a lot of the refugee camps, the schools, provide, deliver food and medical aids to people who need it in Gaza and in the West Bank. And they've done a beautiful project supporting the kids in Gaza to make kites, saying all sorts of stuff, from like cartoon characters and bright colours to, writing out UN charters for human rights on a kite. And you're thinking, well, if a 7-year-old's having to write that on a kite, they're probably not having the child they should be having. And they sent loads and hundreds of adults to clear the bullet casings and the bits of bombing debris along the beach on the Gaza Strip. This was in 2011, and no, it wasn't. It was in 2008. It was a while ago, a long time before this happened, and 2000 and something, and they cleared all the bullet casings, and they took the kids and the kites down to the beach. And they flew all their kites, and they had someone there from the Guinness Book of World Records, and they broke the world record for the number of kites flown in the sky at the same time. And if you Google it, you can see some pictures of it. It's incredible. It's one of my favourite pieces of non-violent direct action ever. They're just like, hey, we're kids, woo, breaking the record, and it's beautiful. And it feels difficult now because probably a lot of those children have not survived this war. But I wrote a song celebrating that, and using that image and that story to tell as many people as I could about what was happening in Gaza. So I'd like to sing it for you now. I've really struggled to sing it since October of last year, and I tried it this afternoon. I got to about the third verse before I broke down in tears, so bear with me. I'll do my absolute best to get through this, because it's a story that I want to be able to keep telling, because there is beauty in it. And and this scarf I'm wearing is embroidery that was made in Gaza about 15 years ago, and I for years I've worn it and said to people, look at this beautiful embroidery, the women in Gaza made this, because it's not just the war, it's the tea, and it's the beautiful food, and it's the hospitality, and it's the kids flying kites, and and we need to keep telling those stories as well as telling what's happening and trying to stop it. I'll shut up now. I won't shut up, I'll shut up talking. I'll sing you the song. It's called Take Back the Sky. In Gaza City, Palestine, just a standing by the sea. Here I was born a refugee, but no refuge could they find for me. Well, I've been trapped here all my days, 3 borders closed surrounding me, and soldiers sitting in the sea, and bombs are falling down on me, and there's no place to hide. My home isn't even safe inside. Nowhere to run to play, where I can be a child, just for Let this flying kite take back the sky for me. This kite that's flying over me, seeing things that I can't see, saying all the things that I would say if I could leave this place. No walls could stop me dreaming, no lies could lock me down. All the words in all the world couldn't stop me from roaming around. Just for 1 minute, just an hour of my troubled days, let this flying kite take back the sky for me. This kite that's flying over me is just paper, string and wood, and a picture that I painted, and I hope it's understood. Will you carry all my dreaming up towards the sun? Will you show the world that freedom means the same to everyone? Just for 1 minute, just an hour of my troubled days, let this flying kite take back the sky for me. All it takes is the right wind blowing, just one breath from the sea, and where bombs and bullets have been falling, I send my kite soaring. It may seem a simple thing, just holding on to a piece of string. Don't forget, I've been holding on for all my short years, and my mother and my father held on long before my time. Just for 1 minute, just an hour of my troubled day, let this kite, flying kite, take back the sky for me. Just for 1 minute, just an hour of my troubled day, let this flying kite take back the sky for me.
Thanks so much. Have you got it in you to do one more Johnny in a song? I've got two options for you. I've got the Arabic version of Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes that we did in the refugee camps in the West Bank, or we've got a resistance song that's Arabic but just has na 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 as the chorus. How are we feeling? Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes? Na 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 na. I think that's a good choice. Okay. Yeah. This is super well known. It's really become a huge anthem in Palestine for many years. It's sung in resistance. I first learnt it from some young women on a demonstration in Nabi Salah, and then we heard some like nursery school kids singing it, and then we've sung it with many Palestinians over the years. And the translation is. Na 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 na. The translation of the other bit is I will write your name on my country above the sun that never sets, not my children nor my wealth above your love. There is no love. It's just we love this land, we belong to this land, and that is a truth that we can't move away from. بكتب باسمك يا بلادي الشمس ما بتغيب لما لي ولا أولادي على حبك ما فابين. بكتب باسمك يا بلادي الشمس ما بتغيب لما لي ولا أولادي على حبك ما فابين. Na 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 na. Yeah, it's that pattern around. Let me just slow it down for you. Na 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 na. Lovely. If we had more room, we'd probably do a full dabka dance. But you just need to feel a little bit of, dance of resistance in you as we just sing it once more, so you'll know the nas when we get there this time. بكتب اسمك يا بلادي عالشمس وما بتغيب لما لي وعلى أولادي على حبك ما طبيب بكتب اسمك يا بلادي عالشمس وما بتغيب لما لي وعلى أولادي على حبك ما طبيب na 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 na. Beautiful, thank you. So it's just to remind you, we have a singing ceasefire vigil every Friday outside of St Giles from noon till 1. If anyone ever wants to come and join in, there's lots of the same thing looped around and lots of ceasefire hours and end the occupations. So you'll pick it up really quickly. So please feel free to come on down if ever you're free. Thank you so much.
Our next performer is Morgan. I'm hoping that I'm saying your last name correctly. Kluck-Keil.
Kluck-Keil.
Kluck-Keil. Oh, sorry.
Keil, yeah.
Why did I say Klein? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I met Morgan through the community well-being group that's run by Kat, who's over there, lovely lady over there. It's run every 2 Mondays for people who want to join. It's a lovely community. And Morgan, would you like to introduce yourself? So I'm just going to introduce him briefly. He does experimental pop music with hippie goth aesthetics. So we'll just give him a little while to set up, and then we'll give an applause. We can give him an applause now as well.
Okay, thank you for waiting. I'm so sorry I had so much gear to set up. Everyone's keeping it nice and simple. I always overdo it. My name's Morgan. I don't really have much of an introduction I'm just a guy. I'm an American. I feel like that's kind of central to. I was reviewing my set list and it's kind of central to some of these songs, but this first song. Well, first, thank you to Terry for organizing this and for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share a lot of the music that I've been working on in the past year. I haven't shared with anyone, and I think it's a really safe and excellent audience to be able to share this stuff with. So this song I wrote pretty quickly in October 2023. I was in the wrong sample bank. Seriously. This is a really somber song. That's what I used during my DJ sets, which I had. Okay. hate what they do. I hate what they did. And I'm who they pretend. I'm who they pretend. Makes me cry. Makes me say I can't die, I can't live, I can't die, I can't live, I can't die, I can't live. And I want to give what I can't give. These words don't go here and don't belong there. Too extreme or sincere, not the time and place, my timing. The timing, I'm always so worried about timing, but I'm just trying to be heard. I'm just trying to be heard. I'm concerned. I'm not trying to disrespect or hurt, but at least that's not my point. But at this point, it is what it is. If it's not that, it's this. So many smoke screens and euphemisms and double standards. Euphemisms for death, euphemisms for violence, euphemisms for systems that pick us all to pieces, and they water down justice, and they sell our own values back to us. And if you reject the transaction, they send the National Guard. the local police, the militia, whatever Westerner they can convince to kill for them, and there's so many people who would kill for them. But you don't care, don't lie, you don't care, don't lie, you don't care, or at least you don't want to care. The bother, the headache, the open-ended sorrow, you don't think you could bear it. You don't think you could bear it, and so you don't. You don't even try to bear the weight for just a moment, 30 minutes. What would happen if you sat in that place you're so afraid of? What would happen if you tried to feel that feeling fully? And what would happen if you meditated after you read the news? What would awaken in you? And what voice are you too afraid to answer? What does love ask of you? What does compassion ask of you? What does love ask of you? What does compassion ask of you? What does love ask of you? What does compassion ask of you? Ask yourself. I know these days you get to kind of choose your own reality. A lot of people choose not to see this, but trust, it sees us. With its databases, its algorithms, its cameras, it sees us, and soon it might be the only thing we can see. Oh, say, can you see what's coming? Again, what's already here, just what's just up ahead? Can you see what's coming? If you listen, if you sense, you can hear it, you can feel it. If you don't go numb, if you feel for the graves we trample over every day, our natural divinity, sacrificed for capital gains, for expansion, for government. Feel the loss, feel the wound, feel the trauma, feel the hole, feel the lack of feeling, the specter of power, the phantom. It's in the air we breathe, it's even in the water we drink, and the materials that are used to build the walls that keep us safe if we're so lucky. This is our home, and look at what we've done. This is our home, look at what we've done.
You know, the honest truth is I never thought it would take me so long to figure out something so simple. I figured out watching people get blown up in this certain was enough to make people be like, hey, something's wrong, right? But to know that so much time has passed and still people don't care that much, it's like, it's hard to say the least, you know, like, it's fucked up, it's disgusting, but like, it's really sad. It's really sad. And after that, it's like, fucking nuts about it is. It's like, man, we really live in this world, it's really like this. Dude, what the entire father.
Okay. Meta tries to monetize my thoughts, so I log off. I make myself inscrutable. Comes at quite a cost. Sincerity is beautiful. That's why I keep it locked until I know the usual. I listen more than talk. Time goes on, I start to put more and more in the vault. Time goes on, it starts to weigh me down. So I dump. I'm venting to my friends until I get to the core. And then I forget about it the next day. They're genuinely concerned. These holding patterns, I'm dissolving. I'm sorry for the burden. Thank you. This is probably the least political song of mine tonight. Political. And it's about how I never finish any songs and I procrastinate, and it's called The Procrastinator. Faux pas, sorry. Okay. Redo. It's all over your face, and I don't know what to say. You keep rattling the gate, tugging at the chain, it makes it difficult to wait. We let you choose the way, still we hear complaints about the path we had to take. How many lessons does it take to turn a boy into a man until you finally age? You know what I'm saying? No. And I don't really care about what those people say about me. I am lost in space. And I don't really care about what those people say about me. I'm doing okay. But I think you feel away. Some type of way. Yeah, I do what I can, whenever I can. Do it on my own, with my own two hands. Things I didn't know I had to understand. Took some time to grow, took some time to plan. I thought it would work, but it never did. They told me to do it, so I never will. That's something I learned as a little kid. It's so hard to stop, it's so hard to quit. This is how I feel, this is how I feel. Let's just keep it real, that's all it is. I know that you're doing just the best you can. It's not good enough for what we've got at hand. It's been getting on my nerves, gotta take a stand. Standing up to who you're alone again. Shouting at the wall, you're all by yourself. Shouting out to no one in a private cell. Like, nah, nah. kiss and then you turn around. Scared of first impression, so you put it off. Never really do what I know you could. This is out of love, this is out of love, out of love. Alright, this one, well, could we actually just take a little bit of the highs off of the mixer and maybe just boost the lows a smidge? And this one's a little bit, this is the one that's a little bit louder, if you could note it down. Sorry, that was one moment. Dreaming backwards into 1963, based on progress on an aristocracy, manufactured national identities. That's the dream. Choose within a false dichotomy. The unprecedented turns into routine. Can't imagine any other way to be. It's over serene. Can we say, oh no, help me out? Big brother, won't you help me out now? Big brothers used hand-me-downs, barely worked once, they're all stretched out. Father figure with the cameras now, in the big boys' room where you're not allowed. Go, go, just get out. With us even when he's not around. What is freedom when it's handed out? Taken away when you won't get down. The lesser evil slowly draws it out. You're paid in crumbs and now you work for the crackdown. And you're the lucky one. Aren't you lucky one? Oh yeah, at the end of the day, when the other shoe drops, you probably still do it again. You'd still do it again. The devil, you know. It's always the devil. The change is coming. We could go with it, or we could wait for it to change us. But it's coming. It's coming. Two more? One more. Let's do one more. Okay. I'll leave the extra weird one for later. Cool. So that first song I did that I said I wrote in October, this song was written probably a week after that. And I do just want to speak on it for a moment with, I see it as the flip side of despair, the amount of despair and grief that being able to go headlong into grief, I felt like I was able to access a deeper level of love and compassion than I had in my life. And I felt changed by that. And so this is just like kind of trapped in this aesthetics. First time I ever saw it happen, I was a little kid. My eyes were wide and big, and it traumatized me a bit. The story of my life, I never want to write. No wonder they say, hold me this way. I need to be held, I need to give out, I need to take in some love from my friends. I need to shout out, my heart knows no bounds. Knows no bounds. My heart knows no bounds. My love knows no bounds. My heart knows no bounds. My love knows no bounds. My heart knows no bounds. My love knows no bounds. It knows no bounds. And I hold it open for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, for organizing this. We're going to pack up. We got a couple more performances coming.
Yeah, thank you. Another applause for Morgan. And all the performers. This is the first half done. So thank you so much. We'll have about like a 10-minute break, so you can go to the toilet, have a ciggy, have a drink. And also, I'm so sorry because I completely forgot about this. We have, I know it's a bit late, but we have masks there for anybody who wants to mask. And the other thing that I forgot is that in that beautiful heart there, we have Post-its and pens, markers, so you can leave your message for Shahd, Mohamed, and Sondos. You can take a picture and you can send it to me if you're following me on Instagram, or just upload it. You have their Instagrams on the information there, back there. Kat is showing the information with the Instagrams for both, for them three. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. But please, I know they will appreciate your messages if you leave them there with the post-its. I'll also take a picture and send it to them. And yes, we'll be back in 10 minutes. So thank you.